Carmine Falcone? Is the Dent campaign soliciting votes from Gotham's biggest crime family?
Falcone's never been convicted of anything, except being a businessman who loves this city. Excuse us, Miss Vale.
I don't like it.
And what kind of business do you think he's in?
The one that controls enough votes to get me into City Hall. This is the necessary evil of politics, Bruce. It's in the service of a better Gotham, for all of us.
By
But
working
at least
with
hear him out
criminals.
before you kick him out. Falcone requested to speak with you directly.
Jesus, Harvey, inviting a known criminal to your fundraiser doesn't exactly look good for your squeaky clean image.
Exactly.
Let me worry about that. A word of warning, Bruce? Play nice.
You know, I've been in the market for a new house. Decent walk-up, sky-high ceilings, plenty of room for my cars. I think I'll take it. Though the decor offends my eyes. Oh, man, all flash, no class.
Let's talk privately, shall we?
Hey, I like this guy. Ready to do business before we even introduce ourselves. But we'll get to that. Carmine Falcone, thank you for welcoming me into your home. You're a respectable man, I hear.
Bruce Wayne.
I know who you are. The guy who's gonna sell me his house.
What?
Gentlemen, perhaps we'll all be more comfortable in the parlor. Follow me, if you will.
I'm not selling my house. Just forget it.
You should know, Mr. Falcone, my analysts say we're raising triple what Mayor Hill had... Hey, what's...
Private audience.
Come on, guys. Bruce?
You'll be fine out there, Harvey. I saw plenty of skirts to keep you busy for a few minutes.
We talk alone. Just you and me. Sorry, Harvey.
Yeah, I'll get a drink or something. Christ.
Yeah, well, that's just like Harvey, huh? Wants to make sure the rules are followed. But in my experience, there's the law, and there's doing what's right. You understand? And I'd rather see Harvey actually help this city instead of just saying he will.
Well, I would say you can uphold the law and still do what's right.
To a point. No one gets remembered for staying in the middle. I ain't here to chinwag about politics, Mr. Wayne. Gives me indigestion. I got enough of that as is. So, let's talk relationship. Chalk this for me.
What the?
Be a
No.
pal. I can get Harvey the mayor's seat. Or I can pull it out from under him. Whatever happened to being a gracious host?
I'm not chalking your freaking pew. You do that to
Okay,
your freaking
imagine.
self.
This is me. And these are all my friends in Gotham. The businesses, restaurants, clubs, docks, unions, politicians. I make them all move. And I want to keep everything moving if Harvey gets elected. That's why I came here tonight to your lovely home, hoping to make a new friend. One who can help Mr. Dent see the light, if need be. Between your businesses and mine, I bet we employ half the city.
Look, I'm only talking to you because Harvey asked, trusting a friend to know what's best for Gotham.
Now that's a predicament. You listen to me, kid. I know somewhere inside that tuxedo you understand this situation. Money gets money. The risks, the alliances, the hidden costs. Your father knew which hands to shake. And which to break.
Don't you dare talk about my father.
You're getting worked up over nothing. Hell, I knew him longer than you did. People don't say no to me. Not for long.
Master Bruce, your guests are leaving. I recommend seeing them out. You wouldn't want to be rude.
Heed your butler's advice, kid. Oh, and I'm no longer interested in buying the house. The owner's a prick, and he's gonna get what's coming to him.
That's what you think. Batman doesn't work with crime families. Get over it.
It's me.
Oh yeah. That was a long intro.
Another brutal week in Gotham, folks. A string of home invasions rippled through the city's already crime-infested East End. Apparently, the bandits are using stolen GCPD battering rams to force their way in, with breaking and entering incidents up 40% over last year. Remember to keep those front doors locked tonight. And we have breaking news tonight. 5 criminals are in custody this evening after a break-in at City Hall. But thanks to the efforts of the Batman, the stolen items were returned.
Not all of them. Let's see what she was really after.
Allegations that Dent may have actually been involved in the break-in. Talk about dirty politics. Does Hill's campaign really think these accusations hold any water with the voters? Or will it be perceived as a desperate attempt from a flailing campaign to take down one of
My
Gotham's
parents'
most
dad was
promising
a
young
physician,
politicians?
mom was a philanthropist. They
And
worked
in other
tirelessly to help the less fortunate,
Now on day
setting up
3 of the
numerous
factory
charities
fire
and
that will
expanding
not
their
end.
vast
Crews
resources
have
to
given up
improve the
trying
city
to combat the blaze
and
at
its
the
citizens,
Owensburg
murdered in an
Processing
attempt
Center,
corroborated by a
owned
man known
by
as
Ace
Joe
Chemical.
Chill, deceased.
Still no word on what started the fire, but whatever's burning here
Alfred
has
Pennyworth,
resisted
Wayne family
everything
butler.
the fire department has thrown at it.
Faithful,
They're
patient, ever
recommending
helpful
people
Alfred.
avoid the area and
He's been a
seek
part of my
immediate
family my whole life. He
Happens
raised me when my
that
parents were
any of
murdered
that
and guided me when I
black
thought I
smoke.
was lost.
And one
He's my
mobster's
butler, my
murder
confidant,
caused quite a headache
and
for
the most
commuters this
secret
morning.
weapon in my arsenal.
The body of
He
Falcone
complains
family
frequently about my
couple,
nightly
Pistachio
activities, but he's
Carbone,
still there to
was
patch me
found
up when I need
hanging
it.
off the side of the 4th Street Bridge
Harvey Dent,
sometime just before dawn,
Gotham
causing
City
traffic
District
to
Attorney,
back up
mayoral
for miles
candidate, a
as
new
the
friend and
cops
best
cut him
district attorney
down.
Gotham City has seen in years. His political ambitions have
Random
always
stabbings are the
been
latest
as
headache
big
for the
as
riders
ego,
of Gotham's
and now he's
overcrowded
hoping to
Skyrail cars to
become
contend
mayor.
with.
He's
Gotham
got
police
so many
are
great ideas for how to save the city. I think he'll be good for Gotham, but I have to steer him right down the right path to get there. He's too easily swayed by anyone with power, regardless of their emerging mortality.
A few have died, while most have been
Hemiton
admitted
Hill,
to Gotham General
Mayor
in
of Gotham
critical
City.
condition.
Exhibit A
Police
in
don't
What's
have
Wrong
any
with the City.
suspects at the
Hill
time.
should have been thrown out in office years ago,
2
but
more
he's
patients have
got
gone
his
missing
hands
from
wrapped
Arkham
around Gotham's
Asylum,
government and
bringing the
death
total
grip.
number of
He's
escapees
been
from the
suspected
half
of numerous
prison,
crimes,
half
but
mental
there's
hospital
never been enough to make anything
15
of it
this year.
stick. He's
Only
rotten
3
to
have been caught to date,
the core,
but
and one
all
day
the
the city will
escapees
realize it.
highlight the rough,
Harvey's out
some
there
would say
doing his best, and
inhumane
hopefully
conditions
the
at the
upcoming
Aged
election
Asylum.
will be the end of
The
Hill's
latest,
corrupt
44-year-old twin
administration.
brother and sister, Leon and Valerie Muldoon, should be
Cat
considered
burglar.
dangerous if found. Authorities are asking that you do not
Crimes,
approach
burglary, penny
and call
larceny, new
police
criminal on the
immediately.
scene, tied to several recent break-ins. She's ineffective and doesn't leave many
Mayor
clues
Hill's
behind.
Gotham
Currently, the
Beautiful Act
GCPD
takes
has been
effect
leaked. I
today,
wish I knew more about it.
making it possible for landlords to evict tenants
Oswald
immediately and without
Cobblepot,
cause.
aka Paint.
The new law
Wow,
was
he looks pretty
created in
good
order
for
to
being
allow
Cobblepot.
Gotham City's biggest property owners
Crimes,
greater
arm dealing,
ability to
illegal,
modify
boxing
and
matches,
improve the
receiving
city's
stolen
aging
property.
buildings, some
Shut up,
of which
news.
have been occupied by
Shush.
families for decades. So if you
He was a
come
childhood
home from
friend,
work
but he's
tonight
almost a stranger to
and
me
find
now,
all
just like
your
me. His
stuff on the
family
street,
fell apart in
don't
Gotham.
worry.
He
It
went off to
probably
boarding
isn't
school in England,
anything you
and
did
there our
wrong.
paths diverged. He seemed to have
And if you
fallen
can believe it,
into a
now
life
you
of
can't
crime.
even trust the
The
valets.
last 2 decades gave him a lengthy
More on
rap
this
sheet and
after the
nicknamed the
break.
Penguin. What happened
Mayor
to
Hill
Oz?
says he's tough on crime, but since his election, violence in Gotham has skyrocketed. And when he was presented with legislation that would have dismantled organized crime in the city, he vetoed it, killing Gotham's chance for a safer future. Maybe that's because the rumors of Hill's connections to some of Gotham's most notorious mafia families are true. We don't need another gangster running the city. We need a crime-fighting hero. With over 200 successful convictions, District Attorney Harvey Dent just might be the hero Gotham needs. But he can't save our city alone. He needs your help. He believes that together we can make a dent in Gotham's crime. But it starts with you. Vote for Harvey Dent and elect a real crime fighter to Gotham's mayoral seat.
I'm Harvey Dent, and I approve this message.
James Gordon, Lieutenant, CDPD Major Crime Unit, associates Barbara Gordon's daughter. He's a good, by-the-book cop in a department that doesn't trust Batman. He was recently tapped to lead the Major Crimes Task Force, an impressive promotion, so he's doing something right. I think he could be a trustworthy and reliable source of info, but I need to cultivate that relationship. He's a family man, so he's not willing to take necessary risks on the street. That's fine. I'll take the risks. Vicki Vale, investigative journalist, Gotham Gazette. One of the Gazette's most ambitious and competent reporters. I've read her stuff. Some of it can be a bit tabloid, but her passion for her truth is undeniable. She moved the paper for a while, covered all kinds of beats. Someone like that has the kind of access others would kill for. She might even hear more about what's going on in Gotham than I do. One day I may need her to find out what she knows.
Sometime just before dawn.
Carmine Falcone, Skyclad Club owner, head of Falcon crime family, the worst kind of gangster, one who tries to mingle with high society. He seems to have his hands in everything, including smuggling, real estate, bribery, and fraud. I could haul him to jail, but he'd walk the next day. I could shut down one operation, but two would pop up in this place. His empire is vast and multi-layered. Finding hard, admissible evidence is required for a conviction. Gotham City, population 10 million. The city is like a living creature. It's always growing outward and upward. People who live here are survivors. They have to be, and they deserve better than the corruption that infests this place. Arkham Asylum, established in November 1921, Gotham City only maximum security psychiatric hospital for now. Outdated in every way. Building is falling apart. Equipment is antiquated. And staffed with methodology leaves much to be desired. When the Thomas and Martha Wayne Memorial Hospital opens, with these patients will finally get the treatment they need. Wayne Enterprises, established in 1870, multinational corporation founded by my ancestors, covering all manner of manufacturing and finance. I inherited a majority stake from my father, but I'm not involved in the day-to-day operations. However, the R&D resources have been helpful in pursuing my private interests.
So if you come home from work tonight and find all your stuff on the street, don't worry. It probably isn't anything you did wrong.
Now what?
And if you can believe it, now you can't even trust the valets. More on this after the break.
Mayor Hill says he's tough on crime, but since his election, violence in Gotham has skyrocketed.
I can move
And when he was presented with legislation that would have dismantled organized crime in the city, he
nearly fell off a building for this.
Maybe that's because the rumors of Hill's connections to some of Gotham's most notorious mafia families are true. We don't need another gangster running the city. We need a crime-fighting hero. With over 200 successful convictions,
Let's find out what was so important.
Harvey Dent just might be the hero Gotham needs.
Wayne Manor has 7 bedrooms, 2 kitchens, a library, a gymnasium, a basketball court, and a movie theater. And yet I always find you here, in a dark, damp cave, in front of a computer.
Yeah, well, this is the only room that really matters.
Well, then you won't mind if I skip cleaning the rest. The dusting is murder. Did you find out what that, Catwoman tried to steal?
Well, in the process.
What are we looking at?
Let me try a different angle. This is a map of the East Side shoreline. But it could mean any number of things. Money, weapons, drugs, everything flows through that port.
Maybe it's where Mayor Hill picks up his dry cleaning.
Can't make sense of it yet. There's still plenty of files to decrypt.
And in the meantime, I saved you what I could.
Thanks, Al.
Yeah, the same couldn't be said for the bar. I had to literally pry Mrs. Zeller back away. But you'll be pleased to hear everyone has left, including Mr. Falcone. Before the game switched from billiards to cutthroat. I'd recommend leaving the fistfights to your alter ego. Bloodstains are much harder to remove from a tuxedo.
Yeah, thanks for the interruption.
Well, it wasn't for you, Bruce. I was worried I might drink all my good scotch. For the record, your father despised men like Falcone, thought they ruined Gotham's stellar reputation.
Back when it still had one?
It can again, Bruce. Though people like this Catwoman aren't helping. Is she new to town?
I've never seen her before. Hopefully, she's just a tourist. No, I already checked the CODEX.
Not much to find, apparently.
A few burglaries, break-ins. Seems to lay pretty low.
You could learn a thing or two from her. You can't step outside without it ending up in the news lately. As Bruce or Batman.
I stay out of sight when I need to.
Define need to.
Whenever Harvey calls. That guy's exhausting.
Well, after the press conference tomorrow, I'll mark your calendar as exhausted then. The media isn't good for anyone's health. I don't mean to beat a dead argument, but...
No one's gonna figure it out now. Trust me.
Miss Vale noticed your injuries, so did Mr. Dent. If they put it together with the incident at the mayor's office, it would undo all the long nights and close calls we've endured to get here. You're in the spotlight more than ever. You have to be careful.
You're right. I should have canceled the event.
Well, I know how much pressure you're under. I don't mean to add to it.
It's okay. I know you're only looking out for me.
If we make a suit that fits me, we can trade places some night. Though I'm not partial to heights. Old men worry, that's all. It's our gift and our curse. One more worry for the list.
I thought I saw Oz. It's been, what, 20 years? Last time I saw him, we were in grade school.
Indeed. You two were thick as thieves. Oswald, however, took that role more literally than you.
Dishonorable discharge, illegal boxing matches, arms dealing, prison stints?
That's a criminal grand slam, if I'm using the expression correctly.
Unfortunately, you are.
Oswald claimed he only wanted to catch up, but his behavior following his family's collapse is troubling. Why he's returning now, I haven't the faintest idea.
Do you think he might know something about the break-in? This Catwoman shows up around the same time Oswald comes back to town. Might not be a coincidence.
Oswald's crimes, numerous they may be, are on a much smaller scale than robbing City Hall.
Well, he was always trouble growing up, but it was the fun kind of trouble.
You both were. Even though you and young Master Cobblepot used to be close, I'd advise you to be cautious. But I know you can't abandon a good mystery until it's solved.
I'll be careful, Alfred.
When you see what's become of his park, I think you will.